Well, it's very impressive that you had to seek teachers all over the world for your study.
Yes. In the long run, it was the best thing, really, because about 10 years ago, belly dancing became very popular again here in America. So it was with the right training at the right time and the right place.
And what about books? Can you learn anything from books on belly dancing?
Well, you can. There's certainly a lot of history that you can look into. There's paintings. The books have pictures of the paintings, and it's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Can you learn how to dance from a book? Not really. You need somebody there to show you, because they're just stationary photos. And this I know for a fact because I just recently created a certification program and had to produce a booklet. And it was hard, let me tell you, to write all of the details down and to take photographs of the movement. It's much better having a video or DVD, or especially a live teacher with you.
Now, how long does a student have to study with you to achieve a certificate?
Well, the certification program takes a long time. To go from beginner to professional, if they came to regular classes, the certification program is a separate issue from the regular classes. And the classes, all in all, if they went through all of the requirements and they were on the fast track, it would probably take about 3 years.
Yeah, well, that's, you know, like lawyers go to school 3 years, you know, a lot of professions, so I'm not surprised. Yeah. And you mentioned history. Do you teach history of belly dancing in your class?
Actually, yes. I work with the Illinois Arts Council, and I teach the history of belly dance to a lot of places, universities, schools.
And can you tell our audience about some important history of belly dance?
Oh, well, that's a long story. What's interesting is you can see some of the roots of the movements and the instrumentation all the way back into pharaonic times in the hieroglyphs that are dated about 4000 BC.
Mm-hmm.
So from there you have actual factual proof of where did it all come from. And then it's an interesting story that goes over the centuries to now.
Can you go on a little bit about it?
Well, it went from the pharaonic times into the Bedouins, who are the nomads that carried it from generation to generation, not having written it down at all. The Islam came into the area, had an impact on the arts completely.
And what, can you describe the influence of Islam?
Well, it was a time where the dance pretty much was not allowed to be done in public, as was playing instruments out loud. Mm-hmm. Poetry was encouraged, and so lyrics of songs to this day, you can see the influence of the fact that the poems are so beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Are they like love poems?
Mostly, yes. Yeah. Mostly. Yeah. It's kind of like country and western music. Everything's a love song, either love that breaks your heart or love that's just blooming.
Okay, and so go on with the history. I'm finding it interesting.
Well, it took a sort of a turn where the courts of Persia and the harems and so on in Turkey, the women there actually did a lot of growth in the instruments, playing the oud, how to deal with the music itself. It's a long story, but it has really evolved, and the music is very complicated, much more complicated than Western music. And to really learn it today, you have to go to the university or conservatory, and in the Middle East, of course. And, you know, to see a well-educated musician is hard to find and should be well respected, because the instruments are very difficult to play.
And what are some of the instruments?
Well, you have an oud, which is like a lute,
mm-hmm.
a wooden shaped round sort of guitar family instrument. You have a qanun, which is in the family of a zither, tabletop kind of instrument with a lot of strings on it. And someone sits in a chair and plucks on the strings. It sounds kind of like a harp in a way when they play. You have a nai, which is a flute, a reed instrument. Of course, you have a violin, which was based on an old instrument called a rabab, which is like 2 strings and sounds very rough and scratchy. And you have wind instruments like a mizmar, which similar to like a bugle in the sense that it's a thin neck and flares out and takes a lot of pressure from your mouth to make the sound.
Wow.
And the drum, of course, is the most important one, the tabla.
Yeah. Well, we have just about 2 minutes left. The name of our show is called Inner Quest, and it seems to me this has not only been an outer quest in teaching and helping your students, but also an inner quest. This is like a lifelong art for you.
Yes,
Can
it
you
is.
talk a little bit about your inner quest through belly dancing?
It's a passion for me. It's something that has let me learn about myself, to really enjoy myself being a woman, to find empowerment in that, to find softness in that as well. It gives me emotional expression and certainly keeps me fit.
Yeah, I would say joy. We've got about 30 seconds now, but in the Middle East, there's been some repression of women, and so I would think that belly dancing would help to undo some of that repression.
And art can never be repressed, really.
Eventually,
the human
yeah.
spirit needs it.
Yeah, well, thank you so much. You've been listening and watching before to Jasmin Jahal. For more information about Jasmin, her School of Dance, the Infinity Foundation, or Inner Quest show, stay tuned to the credits at the end. Until next time, we wish you good health, good spirits, and good fortune. Thank you. Thank you.
For more information about this show, our guests, Infinity Foundation, or any of our other programs, please visit our website, infinityfoundation.org, or call us at 847-834